Hello everybody, it is a gorgeous sunny day out. I hope you guys find some time to get outside and enjoy some of this day. I'm going to start off by showing you guys some of the things I did yesterday and then show you something new that I'm trying, and I hope you are inspired to try it along with me and we can experiment and see how this goes. So yesterday I did get my radishes and spinach planted. And I'm going to come down here so you can see a little bit of it. You can see that I have a wonderful metal grate on it. That is to cat-proof my garden. As I was planting yesterday, Troll wanted to come plant with me and wanted attention and was rolling in the dirt as I was trying to plant it. So the metal grate is there just to try to keep the cats from destroying my garden. Lovely. Even though they have, you know, all this lovely dirt that they could be playing in, they want this. Anyway, you'll also notice if I put the video down closely, it has like this white stuff on it. What I actually did was scattered a little bit of potting soil over top of the radishes and spinach. Radishes and spinaches are tiny seed, but not the tiniest. You'll notice that carrot seeds and things like that are even tinier. But it helps to retain some of the moisture, an even moisture when you're having to keep your seeds moist in our wonderful sandy soil. Even though I amend my garden every year with lots of compost, it's still pretty sandy and it's hard to keep an even moisture, and radishes especially need lots of water. You don't want them to dry out because you'll end up with really hot peppery radishes that no one really wants to eat. At least I don't. And it serves another purpose too. I can tell exactly where my seeds are. I can tell how much moisture I'm getting on some water, and so I can keep watering. I'll water these probably 3 or 4 times today just with my watering can. You can if you have those nice sprayers. My boys like to get my sprayers and they clog them with dirt and they end up not working after a while. But you can just use your watering can. Make sure you're thoroughly getting the whole entire bed so you can keep it a nice even moisture to get that seed germination going. And like I said, radishes really take lots of water. Now, I did not interplant them. Some people do plant a couple different varieties to help with thinning. I'm a terrible thinner, and so I try to avoid thinning. I was very careful in my planting. I tried to really space my seed out, and I did draw a line in the dirt so I know exactly where the spinach and radishes are. But when they emerge, you can tell a difference. Radishes have kind of heart-shaped leaves, and so you can tell which is a radish. And then your spinach has kind of, the spiky leaf coming up, so you can tell that. So on to my newest project. I was trying to strategize last night because I have limited space in my greenhouse under my light. And so, as you can tell, I can show it. I've kind of got it clogged already with lots of projects. So my research, I was looking up a concept I'd heard about but hadn't done much research about called winter sowing. And you'll notice I have a bunch of milk jugs here that I have cut in half for this project. Now you're probably wondering, why in the world would she have that many milk jugs? We might be a hoarder just a little bit. But I did use them for other things, like if I wanted to start my tomatoes early, I would make this plastic dome and I'd stick water-filled milk jugs in and it would heat it at night, etc. We can do a post on that later. But that's why I had all these milk jugs in my greenhouse. It was for a project, and so I thought, wow, let's try this. So I just took a knife and I just went and I cut around, almost all the way around. You can see that I left one little lip here as a hinge so I can close these up. Essentially what we're doing is we're making mini greenhouses that's just gonna sit outside in a sunny spot. It doesn't have to be under my light and in my greenhouse or a seed mat. And the concept is that nature just knows what to do and it will get enough light from the sun. So I'm kind of curious because I've never had good luck with putting plants in a sunny windowsill, like the back of the seed packet say, just put this in a sunny windowsill and voila, you have plants. I usually get really leggy, ugly plants that get damp off and die. So I'm very curious to see if this winter sow thing works, because I have a lot more seeds that I'd like to plant, but I'm kind of out of space. And if I can use this, this would be fabulous. So some things that I'm going to do this winter sow method with is rosemary. And I'm going to do some parsley, some cilantro, some larkspur flower, some bachelor buttons, some white bunching onions, and some native seed my friend gave me. I'm going to see how well they sprout in here. So I'm just going to be sowing. Now I'll show you what I did from here. So I took cut it in half, and then I used a drill and I poked holes at the bottom to give it a drainage hole. And then I filled it with about 3 inches of potting soil. Now my concern with this is most people who have done this live in a more moist climate than we do. Here in southeastern Washington, it's very dry. Rain is like a novelty, and so we have to irrigate for anything to grow practically. And so the blogs I was reading, they would just unscrew the cap and I'll have that for water to get in. I suspect that I will have to actively water mine, probably more frequently than they say during a dry spell. Well, that's our normal, so I'll have to water it. So I just put potting soil about 3 inches, and I'm going to sprinkle the seed in, cover it with the appropriate amount of potting soil per the seed direction packages, however the depth is. If it's a 1/4 inch, put a 1/4 inch seed on it. I'm going to water it well. Now normally I would not water from the top, but I'm trying the method how people who have had success with it do it. So I'm going to water it. I'm going to stick this together, and I'm actually going to attach duct tape here to kind of keep it closed, unscrew the cap, and set it in a sunny spot, and we will see how this works. So I'm kind of curious. Feel free to experiment along with me, and I'd be waiting to hear what your comments are and see what success that you have with this. Also, I was going to talk about sometimes we don't always have, you know, the commercial fancy containers to put things in. I'm going to show you some of my very fancy, very upscale containers that I stick different seeds in. So you notice that this is actually a pie container from a Costco pie. I have some seeds in here. I think I put some Scabiosa seeds in here. And so this is going to act as my moisture control. This is a Costco muffin container. This is also a Costco muffin container. Over here we have with spinach. I move this. Spinach comes in Costco or Walmart or all of those. And so I just put pots in there, and I have my greenhouses. Now, of course, over here you can see I do have a couple of the commercial ones over here. But like I said, get creative. You don't have to spend a lot, purchase a lot to grow things. A friend of mine used plastic bags, and I think that's genius to use to keep that even moisture so you don't lose it all up, especially in our dry air. So if you have other ideas, feel free to put them on the comments. I'd love to hear what you guys are doing. If you have had success with winter sowing and would love to share, I would love to hear it. So hopefully you guys will get out and enjoy some sunshine and experiment a little and have some fun.